Do I have any rituals? Right, there's one thing I do always for good luck, and I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, but I've always done it every time I've wrestled, and that is my boots. See these boots? They're very expensive boots, but you have to lace them up quite a bit. And lacing them up, I'm not sure if you've ever worn knee-high boots before, or you had to lace them up. They take a long, long time. So I've always had this one ritual where I do my right foot first, then go to my left foot, but I don't tie the hoops. I go to my left foot, tie them all up and tie the hoops on my left foot, then return to my right foot and do the hoops. I don't know why, and I can't explain to you why I've done it, but fingers crossed, every time I've done it, I've not been hurt. So that is one of my rituals that I love to do. Obviously, there's other stuff as well. There's loads of squats that you'd have to do. Like I normally go out and do about 100 squats before I go out, the Hindu squats, just to try and get ready for the wrestling, because it's a very physical sport, it's wrestling, and everything does hurt, so we've got to train our bodies quite hard. So yeah, we'll do quite a few squats, quite a few press-ups, push-ups, stuff like that. Wrestling, professional wrestling, I started about 16 years ago, and I don't know if you ever watch wrestling or if you're fans of wrestling, but like what I was always told is that wrestling is real, and there's real fighters in there, and then you find out that it's not as real as you thought it was. So a lot of people fall out of love with wrestling, but for me that was amazing. That was like a magic trick. So if I show you a magic trick, the first question you're going to ask is, how did you do it? Because we know magic doesn't exist really. So I wanted to know how to go into wrestling. So I went and studied on the internet and everything to try and find schools. I found a school in Newcastle. I'm going to be here, but I live in Leeds, so it's quite a bit of a journey. And then from there, I've ended up here, 16 years, a long time ago. So the most dangerous thing that ever happened to me was I dislocated my shoulder in a wrestling match. But the way that the wrestling industry works is that you tend not to dwell too much on the injuries, you just carry on. So it was a move where somebody hit me, it's called an arm drag. They gave me an arm drag, I dislocated my shoulder, I ended up having to just pop my shoulder back into place and finish the rest of the match. It was unbelievably painful. But yeah, that is the most dangerous thing that's ever happened. Even with a dislocated shoulder, I was there falling to the outside and everything. Could have been really bad, but luckily I'm okay. I'm all right. There's a gentleman called Rampage Brown. Now, this man is a beast. He is an absolute beast. He is so scary. Like, he will lift you up and you will not know how you got there. Like, I'm a big guy, and he will literally, when I'm on the floor, he will be able to pick me up and throw me into the air, which is quite a scary thing. He looks very scary. Everything he does is intense, and he's one of the scariest men. And luckily, I've only had to fight him once, and yeah, I was lucky to survive that. Tonight, I'm in a tag team match. I am going to bring out my tag team partner and wrestle a gentleman called Joseph Biggs, and he's going to bring out his tag team partner. We don't know who his tag team partner is, so it's hard to really prepare for this match, other than do our usual stuff and just be confident in our abilities, and I'm very confident in our abilities. I believe at the end of the night we'll be walking out victorious. To my competitors, you know what this is? This is Prince Ameen. This is the richest man in professional wrestling. This is the most entertaining man in professional wrestling. But not only do I entertain, I also beat people. Tonight, you're gonna find out that I beat people for a living, and your careers will be finished.